Tourettes aren't just swearing out loud in public and laughing at them who do so. It's a lifestyle that some of us have to live with. Growing up with Tourette's was hard for me, and I particularly don't have the swearing problem. I have grown from that. Only a small chunk of those who have Tourette's have the swearing issue. Many of my problems arose in my early years of elementary school, because that was the time that they started to affect my life. At school, I was frequently picked on for my hooting and swearing. I would hoot like an owl, and of course, my classmates would call me the owl. Whenever I would swear, the other kids looked at me like, "Why does he always swear? Is there something wrong with him?" I now accept the fact that I have them for the rest of my life, and I don't really care what other people say or think anymore. Playing sports was a critical part in my struggle of living with Tourette's. The other kids were from different towns, and most of them didn't know about my condition, so they just kept calling me the owl. Every hoot ended with more laughter. It made me want to pack up and walk out, and my feelings were always hurt at the end of practices. There are different types of Tourette's, such as motor tics and vocal tics. The vocal tics of mine consisted of hooting and swearing. The motor side was shaking my head back and forth very fast. Explaining the way Tourette's work is hard. It's almost like you have this urge to do something, and the urge won't go away until it is done. If I got excited or something excited was happening, the urge would come up, which is why when I talk about Tourette's they usually come up. And if I'm talking about something totally different, they won't. Kids who bullied me impacted my life by knowing that some people may not understand why we do it, and some will make fun of us, but it makes me unique. Seeing other people's Tourette's broadened my views on how others deal with their Tourette's. They don't really care, they just do it. Knowing that they are also confident with themselves and don't care whether people are laughing or even looking at them makes me feel strong about myself and my Tourette's. When I entered middle school, that was the peak of my Tourette's because that was when I was going through puberty. Going through puberty is usually the hardest part in one with Tourette's life. The Tourette's become more harsh or different ones come. Some of the ones that I had were blinking my eyes very hard and keeping them closed, blowing air out my nose, and grunting. I eventually was put on medication and switched through a couple different types, but I then found one and stuck with it because it helped me balance my mood. I wouldn't think about the Tourette's and get the urge with the medication, and when I entered high school I was afraid I would get picked on a lot because it was a larger amount of students and more to pick on me. Luckily no one did, and I learned to control my Tourette's. Whenever I would get the grunting urge, I would blend it in with clearing my throat. That is one of the Tourette's I still deal with. I would blend my closing of the eyes by saying my eyes feel dry, or I would itch them. Keeping my mind off Tourette's and all the hassle it's given me is helped by longboarding. Longboarding gives me this rush that is unexplainable. Just knowing the danger that I am in while going fast down a paved hill with nothing but the clothes on my back raises my adrenaline. When I longboard, I normally longboard on hills with amazing views. While I'm riding down the hill, I usually look behind my back and to my sides to enjoy the beautiful view that is given to us. I feel free when I longboard, and it feels like I am flying while the cool breeze rushes across my face. When I am cruising down the paved road, my mind isn't focused on one thing. It's focused on all the good things in life because that is the way it makes me feel. My girlfriend is another thing that helps keep my mind off Tourette's. In fact, she told me the other day that she had even forgot that I had them. She always makes me feel calm and feel loved, therefore my mind is never geared towards the Tourette's or even hiding them from her. I don't think that there was ever a time that she heard me tick because I'm never thinking about it and I don't have the urges. She keeps my mind away from the bad things in life and brings me to the present where everything is better with her. When I was younger, the Tourette's were harsh on me, but as I grew older, I became more accepted of who I am. I don't really care that I have them or even notice them, but what I do care about is people who make fun of them. We have no control over what we say or what we do, it just happens. Living with Tourette's has changed my life on many different levels, and I realized that there are just some things that people are born with and can't change. So, think. Before you rush to judgment about someone, imagine yourself in someone else's shoes, even if it's just for a minute.